Halloween is almost here, so today we are going to do the Halloween song book tag. The first question is, well, it's not really a question. It's going to be the song. It's going to be a description of a type of book that's kind of related to that song. That's how that's going to go. So the first one is Thriller. And it is a book that was an absolute page turner. There's been a few of those recently. I would have to say Boys in the Valley by Philip Fracassi. It was still my best book I've read this year. I couldn't put it down, and it was so good. It was an absolute page turner. Also, shout out to Darcy Coates' Hunted. That book by her was awesome. It might be one of my favorites, and that one, I think that one kept me up till like 4 a.m. Super page turner, but I want to say I read that last year, not this year. The next one is Somebody's Watching Me. Somebody's watching me. A book that gave you the serious creeps. I was super creeped out by the book Hex by Thomas Olde-Huvo. The whole thing with like the weird witch with her eyes sewn shut and her mouth sewn shut, and she would just like appear in people's houses like in the corner. Sometimes people just put like a napkin over her head so they didn't have to see her. And she would just like creep around, and then sometimes she would just like show up in people's bedrooms when they were having sex. Or, you know, standing over the children at night. Not creepy at all. No. Super, super creepy. That one, it still sticks with me as just being creepy as heck. The next one is Vampire. A book you hated so much, it was soul-sucking, incredibly tedious to get through. I don't like to talk bad about books, but I definitely talked bad about this one a few times. And that was The Curator by Owen King. I hated it. I don't even know why I kept reading it, because I kept thinking this has got to go somewhere. There's all these good ideas, but we kept hitting dead end after dead end after dead end. It was a very miserable experience, and I did not like that book. It was very soul-sucking. The next one is I Put a Spell on You. A book featuring witchcraft or magic. Oh man, I read so many of those. I mean, recently I literally just read the book Moonchild by Aleister Crowley, and it's all about magic, ritual, and the Black Lodge and the White Lodge, these two different opposing teams of magicians that are kind of fighting over this woman who's gonna have this moonchild baby, and it's weird and it's political, and it was such a strange read. Super weird. It never really quite felt tethered to reality while I was reading it. Like, the story would just be going, and then there would be like just missing time and loose ends, and then like, oh, this happened, but who cares? We'll just move on. We made a big deal about it, but nah. I'll have a video in the future where I talk about it a little more in depth. All right, moving on next. This is Halloween. Your favorite treat, snack to eat while reading. Oh, this isn't even a book. Well, in general, my favorite snack is potato chips. Preferably kettle cooked. I love spicy stuff, so like jalapeno. And what sucks is I can't really read and eat that at the same time because I get crap all over my hands. Let's be honest. I don't normally eat and read because it's almost impossible for me not to be a gluttonous fool and get crap all over my fingers that I don't want to get on the books. But if I am like reading and then I set it down and then I eat some chips and then I go like wash my hands or, you know, wipe them on my pants. I've never done that one. Then yeah. But yeah, chips and sour candies. Those are my favorites. The next one is Let's Do the Time Warp Again. Okay, Time Warp. What books do you like to return to at this time of the year? I have not been rereading much of anything since I joined BookTube. I've done a few rereads, but I have been slacking. And the books I used to reread quite often, I would always reread Neverwhere. I love Neverwhere. And Voyage of the Dawn Treader. But there wasn't ever a certain time of year that I would reread them a whole lot. I'm about to embark on a reread, though, for Occult Detective October. And that'll be the Warlock Holmes book, A Study in Brimstone. The next is Hungry Like the Wolf. A book you love so much you devoured. This year, Boys in the Valley by Philip Fracassi. Last year, Ghoul in the Cape by Josh Malerman. I love both of those books so much. Amazing. The Addams Family. A book featuring a dysfunctional family. Oh my god, Little Eve by Catriona Ward. That family is messed up. So creepy and wrong. And I love Catriona Ward, and she writes awesome, twisty, weird books. If you haven't had a chance to read her, she's amazing. Her newest book, Looking Glass Sound, I freaking loved it. It was so weird. It was so good though. Next is Scary Monsters and Super Creeps, a book genre that you are scared or intimidated to pick up. I don't really like extreme horror. I've read a little bit of it. I'm not the biggest fan. Just good with just normal horror. The Twilight Zone, a book with a completely different and unique premise. I thought that the book Ghost Eaters by Clay McLeod Chapman was such a unique premise that I just hadn't heard. It didn't sound similar to anything, at least that I've seen or heard or read. And with Ghost Eaters, it was about this drug you could take and you didn't get high, you got haunted. And I thought that was such a great, amazing premise. Also, if you have not read anything by Clay McLeod Chapman, he is awesome. I recently just read one of his other books that just came out, What Kind of Mother. It's so weird and flippin' creepy. I love that one too. I love weird books, and he writes some weird books, so if you like weird horror, definitely check him out. It's good. So if you enjoyed this tag and would like to do it, consider yourself tagged. Also, if you're a fan of tag videos, the next video coming up will be another tag video, so stick around, check it out. And if you had fun hanging out today, hit that subscribe button, come back, see me again, and we'll talk about more bookish things and weird stuff.